Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Imperator Rome, Invictus, Sogdia, here on the Lord Master channel. Just a few episodes of this series left, just based on how close we are to the end date of the timeline of Imperator Rome, in which, again, I've completed all the major goals that I wanted to do in Sogdia, but now I'm basically just, here to, do what I gotta do to, improve things around here. I mean, yes, there's still room for improvement, but there's also gonna be one last room to expand. And that, my friends, is going to be at a place called the Shunga Empire, in which currently this local power of Madhyamika, which was formerly Shunga until they rebelled at some point of its existence. It holds 12 territories, but they're currently fighting war against the Parthia, which they are currently losing, which may be likely that the Parthia, even though they're kind of split by the remnants of Moria, which is still a major power, which could still punch above its own weight, but it's currently losing a war against Halin. Samatata's left alone. Those people are the Tibetan culture group, settled tribe. Yes, it's rather amazing that a tribe is defeating the Morians in combat, which means there's a chance that they're going to take a big chunk out of its land, and Moria, though still numerously populous, doesn't compare to Sogdia nowadays of over 7,000, and compare that with Shunga with less than that. And this kind of number here is the reason why I feel that we should consider the possible advance into Shunga territory, just to demonstrate our might rather than anything else. And plus we have maximum manpower over 114,000. That's how much we have. We didn't have those kind of numbers decades ago. Now we have so much manpower that we can definitely last a world war of sorts if Sogdia was on the receiving end of it. If this was a case of national defense, we could definitely hold off any entity indefinitely. But practically speaking, I mean, we are just number 2, and this is the reason why I feel that if it is 59 BC now, and the game ends at 27 BC. Keep that well in mind, people. That I feel that if I want to, end the series on a high note, it would be defeating Shunga in a big war and taking chunks of their territory and the population that they hold along with it. Because you see how the score goes? The total scoring, population happiness is one of the factors. The starting attention divider is 94. Compare that to Shunga, where again, they came from out of nowhere after the fall of the Mauryan Empire of the West. And Sogdia, where we've been slowly climbing and building up and all that. But these days, Shunga is pretty stable. Not at war at the moment. Even if we do go to war, there's also this other issue with Zhangzhuang, which that needs to be dealt with. And how? Well, it's a settled tribe, so maybe perhaps we can say too if we can make them a, although they're going to be a little hard to please, make them a tribal vassal, just to take them off of them. I'm not worried about this entity, this is a small one, and this one is a migrant horde, which they have no territories, but they're out there somewhere. so now. We should start improving relations with them, just to be on the safe side. Although it's doubtful, but they can be allies, but it's going to take a lot more than that, because, well, Sogdia is a great power these days, and we cannot make any more alliances, so you're going to be that little issue, but they can be dealt with easily, especially by our fellow allies. Oh, they'll never accept that. Tell you what, at least give it a try. There are other means. You can send them a gift, befriend the ruler who is 65 and healthy, and then there you go, and you have it as your triumph. What are we missing? Camel discipline, no problem. Have for ships. That reminds me. That's another thing we ought to do. Our navy. We lost a bunch of medium ships during the last time we fought in combat. And also I got a little piece of business for you to take care of. Do some scouting. Where is the capital again of the Shunga? Here. Does not have a port. You're gonna do some scouting. Find their fleet. There are no inland ports, except in Patliputra, although it's unlikely that there would be a Shunga fleet in Patliputra. So it's gotta be down there somewhere. The Maldives owns 7 territories. The islands are actually territories. And it's about to experience civil war. I'm surprised they kind of left them alone. Whereas we have no contact with them. But it's kind of interesting to know that sort of thing exists. So to rebuild this navy, gotta start building medium ships. Of course it needs wood, but you can get it. Okay, remember, they had about... I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of that. We're trying to get up to 20. Needs wood. Parthia. Good. So 7. That's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then that'll be 20. Just to add up to this. Perhaps some triremes as well, because lost a few, so 1, 2, 3. Right, and before we finally unpause and get timeline moving, we should also be reminded that in the previous episode we have embraced Zoroastrianism finally. Ritualistic was formerly the majority religion, but now Zoroastrian at this rate will overtake Hellenic and become the majority religion of the nation, as it should be. And I like how, you like, if you want to, you could go back to Matryoshka, which why on earth would you want to do that? Or any country for that matter. And what else? Oh, what else did I have in mind? Oh yes, another thing that's rather important, and this is for the military front. We're gonna have to integrate the Persian culture because they are the third largest population right now, ever since we integrated Persis. So we have no choice but to integrate the Persians in, which may cause some stability issues in the long run. And for the reasons for that, it's to increase the legion size whenever we form the legion for a Persis. Integrate the Persians in, and the number will jump up. And then I will form the army of Persis, which will join with the other armies for the future conflict against Shunga. Although we do not have any castles of valor right now, but we can most certainly start to make up one. Imperator will be 1. Second one will be Stanisvara. I mean, in theory, you could build a port that connects to the River Ganges or towards the Yamuna. So we're at that point now. Especially that we are so close to the city of Hastinapura, which is quite important from an Indian historical perspective of the Vedic faith back in those days. So let's get on with it. So we're sending out our ships to do some scouting. Where is the Shunga fleet? And what do they look like? Just checking. I do have a fort in Kutch. Dvaraka, home of Krishna. Found it. That's gotta be their whole fleet. They have a very good admiral. So they do not have medium ships, just only Unions and triremes. But they got a very good admiral, so on a naval front it would be rather precarious. So yeah, we found them. They're stationed in Kutch. Governor of Himalaya. Yobu. And mind you, we're converting the whole nation into Zoroastrianism because the Queen said so. Well, one thing's for certain, the majority of the ships are over there, and I'm sure they got a few more over at Patliputra, which they won't contribute much because if they were to go down this way, this will definitely hurt their ships due to attrition. So return to port and remain so. Good scouting. Always keep the stability up. Oh, that reminds me. Regarding succession, since we had the legitimacy down at the moment, I am beginning to wonder who should be the next ruler once I pass. Very high charisma, but wrong culture and religion. I mean, I've been thinking about her because she may not have the charisma, but she does have finesse. And slightly better martial. Well, please go seek a treatment. Yeah, I'll pay it. I'll pay for the treatment, and I will subsequently, you know, make you the heir. You know, your second born, as you are self-controlled, unnoticeable. You are aggressive. Yeah, I think you'll do. Well, I will anoint you as such, even though people are not going to like it. She's the heir apparent. There are many traditions to observe in the Sogdian kingdom when naming designated successor. But even for a ruler, it is hard to know what will happen after death. Perhaps this is why the coordination of Roxanne today was undertaken with such fervor, pomp, and ceremony. The high and mighty in the kingdom, as well as representatives of the priesthood, have all gladly sworn fealty to her as their ruler. There are some who consider the whole ceremony superficial, as Roshan will remain the ruler of this country after all, with Roshan now the heir apparent. Tenella! Give it a month's time and see if they will go with it or not. And if they don't like it, then actually, there's a good reason. Look at the succession support. 1 point short. You know, I says that you are the heir apparent. But Bahuman, I mean, he's alright, but his lack of finesse is what made me convinced that he would do well. Firstborn but content. But at least he's an original thinker. And is already married. To a person who's depressed. So nothing I can do about that. But don't worry about the legitimacy. You know how it goes up these days. As long as you keep the popularity up, which I know how to do so. For now, just fabricate claims in all areas of Zoroastrianism. And of course, higher stability. Legitimacy goes up. So we're fabricating this. I'll do the same for this and this, and if there's still time, maybe that and there and there. These two as well. I mean, matter of fact, out of all the areas that they hold, it seems Madhya Desa is the most numerously populated region. So we ought to take Stanasvara, Kuru, and if you want to go further down, Pankala. Although I highly doubt that we would want to go all the way to Magad, all the way to Patliputra. Which, in fact, the Shunga only holds, I wouldn't say roughly half of that. But the population capacity is just below being a metropolis considered. Because they don't have all the territories. Plus these other cities are just siphoning food at this point. So should we switch target, like instead of this area? I mean, it's part of Maru, which we hold that. So this is why I view this area as being dear to me. Even though what they have down there, they don't have as much population as they used to. But it's more numerous up north. Which is quite obvious because the Gangetic Plain tends to be much more highly populated than it is down there. So it just seems that India as a whole is just a one big tripartite struggle. Shunga, Maurya, and Pandya. You know what? New idea. Oh yeah, you're doing a whole coastal road project and then back again. Road building process. It's just in case you need an admiral. Who disloyalty are you inspiring towards? Governor of Persis. What do you think you're doing? The city of Kame, which is over there, has often been overlooked by the wealthy patrons of our capital. Today, Tahung has offered to spend a sizable quantity of his wealth on constructing a grand temple to Ahura Mazda. He has requested our permission before he embarks upon construction. Very well. It's not a temple, that's a library, but every little bit helps. Especially with research. In fact, nothing at the moment. Leave that alone. They'll still say no to that, but I guess we'll have to accept that he's the man for the job. Kinda don't like it, honestly. But first child always wins. Whereas I'd rather have her because she's got finesse. Just a little more even-handed, in my opinion. And she is already seeking a spouse. More than halfway till the Persians are fully integrated, and then we'll begin to build an army. Meanwhile, I still want this area to be a, to turn this into a metropolis one day, because of this far-fetched idea. But I think it's unlikely now, since I'm spending my political influence on, you know, on fabricating claims. And plus, the Babylonians are not an integrated people. 1,000 a month. Amazing. Oh. And now, inner Zoroastrianism. And then after that, the outer. Basically, the area of modern-day Gujarat is going to be the area to take, with the exception of this area. I mean, it is part of modern Gujarat, but that's like, I know places like Surat and Navsari. But where is the area of modern-day Mumbai? Is it here? Or is it there? Or there, I mean. I used to know plenty about Maharashtra. Occupied by Pandya. So, yep, fully occupied. So we should see this turn into Pandya in just a moment. Watch the map. Pandya's the one who started the war. We shall see it momentarily. Keep going. So, as Pandya takes Madhyamika, at least we would have closer links to Pandya itself, and there it is. They took it. And who knows if one day if there will be another Pandya-Shunga war. And if there is, then I may have to start the war early and take advantage of this. But just in case that we are ill-prepared, well, look at these people. It's them again. You're all the way down there. As much as I'd like to take this tiny bit of Parthia, you know, simply for the sake of it. You can do that right now. Station yourself. I just want to take that tiny piece of territory because it's got leather. And we don't often see leather around here. Take that tiny little city-state, and then that's that. And plus, there's that little city that I didn't know it exists, but it's there. So you go handle that little piece of business while tell everyone to come down to Hindustan. Like to here. Almost fully integrated. And of course, same time we're ramping up the navy to deal with the Shunga navy. Glad that I'm a Zoroastrian. Why Zoroastrianism? Look at the benefits. Reduced legion maintenance costs, reduced chance of cohort loyalty, and even more monthly political influence. No negative modifiers when you're a Zoroastrian. Oh look, we can colonize this part of Gerha. It is technically part of Gadrosia, so it's fine. Send a Zoroastrian Persian citizen. Which means you lads are fully integrated now. And same for this. So there you go, now we have parts of Gerha. One's fish, one's got dates. Even the rest of Gerha belongs to Makkah. Ho ho ho! We can have up to 24 cohorts from Persis. We do have the money and the manpower to create one now. So, I've been thinking about this, and that is, why don't we create an infantry-intensive army? Just archers and heavy infantry. With, of course, maybe some engineers. I mean, obviously you gotta have supply trains. Because, you know, to deal with war elephants, one of the weaknesses of war elephants as far as what counters against it, the best way to counter it is archers. So we need heavy emphasis on archers. Archers and heavy infantry. So, that's the idea. Give me 10 of these, and 10 of that, and why not throw some spearmen in there, and a supply train to supply everybody. That'll cost you 12,000 manpower, and this X amount of gold and this X amount of maintenance. Hey, Bahuman, you take charge of that. If you want to be the heir to this great nation, you should serve in this army. Even though you're not particularly well skilled, but you'll have some use of it. You know, do something with your life. There you go. Legion of Persis has been assembled. Get to stepping. Station yourself over there. There's a good supply limit. So it's an infantry intensive army. See this? Damage versus War Elephants 10. It's the only unit of its kind that I believe is good against War Elephants. Because Maz knows how many War Elephants that the Shunga may have. Same could be said for the Parthia. Your preferred tactic would be this. Yes. You are the pretender, and I forced you to be Zoroastrian, and we have, you know, we had issues, yes, but one day you may rule the nation in case something bad happens to Baruman. Look, I mean, he's getting popular, but he'll be more popular during the service of the army. I mean, he's said to be the original thinker. Put that to the test. thought about integrating you. Crisis in the Persian kingdom. The recent death of the Persian ruler has caused a great deal of political disturbance in the country. Eager to take advantage of this situation, numerous sluggish pretenders and legitimate claimants to the throne have risen up to bear arms against their native crown basilisk Philemon III, Mini-Demides. That is, the nation of the Persian kingdom is of interest to us. It might be that we can exert certain influences over the more radical pretenders and hope of plunging their nation to further turmoil. Let us hope they fall into chaos. Although I don't want to fight against the Persian kingdom anymore. I know what it's like fighting against them. Let me send you a gift. Okay. It's gonna take a long time to get there. Also, they're at war right now. Shunga started a war against You did what? Bullying a tiny nation. Speaking of bullying, take this little territory. No chance of survival for them. Just wanted this little peninsula here, and that's that. Ain't nobody here. No fortifications. How many Parthians do actually live in this country? That's something you ought to know. Oh, that's a tiny minority. Who knows, maybe we could find some talent. Even though they're a bunch of old heads. I'll take you. And I'll take you. And the rest can be crucified. There you go, some letter. Now we can skedaddle. Don't mess with Sogdia. They have an ungodly amount of feudatories. It's like, yes, they may be small population, and you could beat them in a war, but look at how many they have. They'll swarm you with so many horsemen. Don't mess with them. Plus, get down here. They need you here. Remember, if you wish, you could proclaim Empire. We have 600 territories. Daughter's disloyal again. Baduka, Balika, man of sound reputation, and Astraves, a nobleman of great virtue, I recently started to spar furiously while attending the court. Such favors unbecoming of these people of stature. We have been called upon to take a side in this latest conflict. Well, you two stop bickering then. Because now I have the Philosopher King trait, or in this case Philosopher Queen, which is additional zeal, and affects a ruler. Monthly stability change goes up even more. Higher than it absolutely needs to be. Think about it, okay? Since you don't have long for this world. And I'm not expected to start the war against the Shunga during this character's lifetime, so I don't know if Marshall would be the right call. Or Tor always works. But it's going to be too long to get down there. Go for it. Populist focus. Remember, it's every month for 2. So my zeal is absolutely high, but I want to get the charisma up a bit. Since, you know, since she's a Zoroastrian queen who is zealous, you got to back that zeal with some charisma to convince everybody, one would think. Right, don't forget that we still have Gandhara to work with. Already bypassed. All Rajagriha needs is an aqueduct. You know what? Take down one building and build an aqueduct. And then mission complete. Fabricate another claim. Outer, Saurustra. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're moving all armies to the Indus Valley. So that way, we can be ready for, you know, the upcoming war with Shunga, which may come within the next decade or so. Although we have overtaking Shunga on the top score, and that's what I really wanted. But fighting against Shunga would just be more of, it's like we're not doing this for in the name of expansion and imperialism, but more of national pride. National pride for Sogdia. Oh, Carmania is always going to be an issue. still doing that road building project, huh? Yep. Still working on that. Just connect down there, then you are finished with the road building. You know, we also ought to build a road that connects to this fortress, and then after that, well, actually roads are already built there by those Indians long ago. So there's that. Go. There's the growth of Rajagriha. So, province of Panchanada gains thriving governorate capital. Just local building, city building slots of the entirety of Panchanada down here. There's one for us. And up to 3 able minor characters will rise to serve their country. Good. Always need more talented people. By strengthening the authority of Rajagriha and showing local society in Gandhara that our state is both powerful and willing to reward those that serve us, we inspired a generation of new men, persons of ability that now seek out opportunities to serve their country, hoping to win themselves wealth and influence. Greco-Indian and Levante. The state will have use of their service. Look at you, you're almost a metropolis now. Give them another aqueduct. And you know what, build a port there because it's bothersome to stop here and then why don't we just go there as well as another port to build. Parthia. Oh, glad we found someone like you. Huh. I could take them on, but that'd be a waste of time. Because they're in Aracosia. And you know, that's actually blocking the path of what they just did by placing themselves here. But you know, that's not their only territory. Most of them comes from up there. That's too far away for us to deal with. To there. Don't import the wood. That you actually exported the wood. God dog it, Lord Master, you should also put a ban of trade of wood. You know, because you know how important the Navy is. So deny anybody that requests wood either. Because you don't find that much wood out here. Roshan, for reasons known only unto ourselves, begun to view Falcon with jealousy and distrust. Even having them in the same rooms now is bound to result in hostility. He's the family head. A researcher. Persian ships on the move again. Hey, you don't have a holy site. I mean, you can only build holy sites if certain areas around there are majority Zoroastrian. But it is growing quite a bit. I'm thinking, it's like, okay, if I were to place a Zoroastrian holy site, where would it be? Maybe here. But look how much that costs of political influence. But hey, at least it makes people come over there. The industrious folk of Alma have excelled themselves, contributing their personal funds to develop infrastructure of their fine city. We hope that this attitude can be mirrored by some of our less loyal subjects. Why not build a granary? Finish that mission. We did what we did for Gandhara. Don't want to do Scythia because I know where this would lead into, and I do not want to get into a fight with Sogdia and their infinite horse lords over there. So stabilize and grow Bactriana. I think we practically did a bunch of that. So what is something that I did not do? Turn Bactria to a metropolis, that's one. Oh dear. I did not build enough farming settlements then. But the mines over Parthia, there's not enough of those either. Gosh, just when you thought you improved on everything. But turning Bactria into a metropolis? Ooh, that's pretty close. Move a couple of slaves and you're golden. But you know how much that costs? That's not going to be enough for us to fabricate more claims to the lands that I really wanted. But don't worry, your political influence grows really fast. Because you're Zoroastrian now and a couple of other factors. You still got some time in your life ahead of you. So what the hell are you worried about? And you may never know, you get a lucky event where you get your influence back up. I'm also going to start integrating you. What does this land have? The real question is, you got any cities? 1, 2, 3. Alright. You got a decent population. Although we'll be taking some Hellenics and it will no doubt be converting those too. No need for that. Most of the population's already Zoroastrian. What you should do instead is, well, that happens every winter. Just encourage trade to get a little bit of food going. Why not with this one? Oh, just give them all with, oh, actually, never mind, leave. Hang on. Seems correct. Just encourage trade in all the areas. With the exception of this. While we're trying to move the fops over there. Some places deserve a little bit of harsh treatment. Same could be said over there. Just trying to figure out a few places that would be suitable for, you know, Zoroastrian conversions. But as for the rest of this, we'll get to work on it. This has a mine. That's a blacksmith. Build that instead. Get a mine. A mine, then there you go. There's your mission here. And, oh my. We're gonna turn this to a metropolis while, you know, making all this. Hey, at least something to do during peacetime. Or we can get iron by other places. On you. Okay, one more. Kacha, which is in Kutch. Less populated. My rival's gone. You'll do. You're a young man. Manpower, then there's 4 free province investments. State religion happens. Okay, next 2 innovations are going to be this. That's what I have in mind now. We did what we could to try and improve relations with them, but I think it's going to be far too much now. So they're deeply entrenched by being in bed with the Shunga. So that means they gotta hit these 2 obstacles. But there's no obstacle that leads them there from that side. Nor, well, there's one here. Right, that just means it's a whole nother area to cover. This is why the future Shunga war might be difficult. We can't make any more friends beyond that point. Hey, they're a tribe. We can beat them easily in a fight. Oh, you're done with the road thing? About to be. Congratulations, you finally finished a road building project that connects to Persis, to Gedrosia and all that. Your hard work is done here, so... I want you to station over there. I mean, when war breaks out with Shunga, I gotta figure out the troop positionings of all the armies. Scandal is unfortunately part of the average day in Sogdian court. Ordinarily, we would simply ignore petty squabbles. However, on this occasion, it seems the obstined Ramch was found in Delecto with his lover Zunish by his spouse Hefta. Hefta, the spouse, overcome with despair, appealed to the court to have Ramch stripped of his office as punishment for his brazenly public vice. Oh, just have him flogged. I gotta have a holy site for this because unintegrated culture group happiness may help it. But in the meantime, call upon Prophet Zoroaster, which each and every time not only increases the speed of the poppy scourge, but makes the 5 pops in our territory become Zoroastrian. And unsurprisingly, look at how fast Zoroastrianism grew. I recall when we started this video an hour ago, it was like around 1600s, and look how much now. Overtaking it fast. He was the high priest. Hellenic. Dysentery. He isn't going to be around much longer, so give him this. Plus higher statesmanship. Murdered. We've been informed that Glenn Karakokasaka was found brutally murdered in his home just last night. Investigators reported that a bare hands was used in a crime. Device known to be favored by Sushan. However, we have no hard evidence to leg up to the crime. A bare hands. That's the phrase. So one would think he choked him. So let all know that we consider him guilty for this. I'll build a fortress there. Needed an obstacle to block a... And give him that too. 2 fortresses here. Just a block signs on to go anywhere. And there. Oh crud. Look. That pass. They can go through there as well. Son of a beeswax. And build that there too. Need something to slow him down. Shunga is at war with Moria, Indravana, Atavir, and Samatata. This will no doubt is going to give him big gains. Huh. Next area. Stanisvara. And Kuru. In fact, we're just fabricating all the areas they have. Highly doubt we get all the way to Magat, which one would think that's the big prize. Because, you know, that's where most of the good Buddhist holy sites you find. I mean, get down to Mathura, you have Vishnu, and there's the Jain holy site of Sambanavanta, and you get over there, and then there's the Jain holy site for Abhinadanada Nanatha. I mean, I'm a little tongue-tied. I'm familiar with Indian names, but not always. And then there's Shani, enlightenment of Buddha there, and Mahavira, who's, you know, also from Magadha, around the same time as Gautama Buddha, I believe. So now, it's come to our attention our trusted advisor, Tahun, has been siphoning funds from our treasury to his own pocket for some time. The disappearance of monies collected from across Sogdia eventually aroused suspicions, which, combined with eyebrow-raising extravagances, such as extreme flattering statue of Tarhun being erected, could not be written off as a mere coincidence. Abuses of this kind surely must not be tolerated, lest the entire state apparatus becomes a charade for personally enriching vain aristocrats. A specific punishment is, however, up for debate. Ah! Let me see. In prison, loyalty goes down to 41. This corruption goes up all the way. I get picked up. Okay, I'll take this. The only real punishment will deter embezzlers. Now we suddenly have a huge amount of money. And that man I imprisoned was my husband. And royal tutor. Not a good idea, but you have a high statesmanship, so I'm giving you this. So I no longer have my husband's support, who was the one that embezzled me. That son of a beeswax. Samarkand is not quite Zoroastrian, but it'll get there in a few decades' time. But you can see that Zoroastrianism is starting to pop up all over the Sogdian realm. It'll happen. I just need to fabricate all claims first, get a holy site, and we'll work on more Bactriana. We still have mines to build. Oh, now that we have the money, get the farming settlements up. How did we not do this? This already has one. Mind-boggling. I thought Bactriana was already good. Clearly I was wrong. Two granary buildings to be built here. Got it. Or alternatively, get this. import horses. Actually, no. Lapis lazuli is much more valuable than horses, so screw that goal. Just go for this instead. Or we could expand the amount of workforce there. Just gonna import a couple of these. Fine metals or minerals, if you're able, you will be able to change trade goods produced there. Okay. This needs to be a metropolis. Kind of Sogdia settlement there. So, Parthia is rich in metals and minerals in a way that few other provinces of Bactriana are. By expanding and developing the business in this province, the entire country could benefit. So this needs either wood or olives. And that area is not a capital. Why there? Of course, this is a rather, rowdy province. But it'll have to do that. Okay. One of these must be true. It has to be capital, so import wood or olives. Anybody got olives? Come all the heck way over there. Okay, then we'll import wood there. Or the alternative, pick the easy option. Grain and fish. These things are readily available. One problem. Oh, you do have a lucky me. Forgot about this. Get the fish from here. What are the odds? Age finds a song again. Even the priests of surge shake their heads when confronted with the inevitable decline in human body. That's Roshan's one. She may not have much time left. How sad. She's been ailing for a while, but now she has cancer. She's not long for this world. But man, she left a mark on this nation in more ways than one. Local rebellion, I assume. It's only a matter of time before Shunga and Parthia come to blows again. Service for life. The wounded, maimed, and otherwise unfit may still be useful as reserves and border guards. Thus we can ensure that the best soldiers are always serving on the front line. So, our national manpower has been great lately, but now they're going to be up a little more. And it's going to jump up even more when we get the last thing. Now it's 120 to max. And then we get more free province investments, which would be very, very helpful for the ongoing mission regarding Bactriana improvements. But at least the legitimacy will be up to the max before Roshan, the Zoroastrian queen who is zealous, passes on. We are leagues ahead of Shunga on the top score. That's the last thing I wanted to do for that series. Get the high score above this nation here. And I may have to fight a war against it just to prove the fact that we can take them on. Wait for it. Get the grain. Roger. You need wood still. City status. So we can't advance beyond that point until we get the next innovation. One of the following. So get wood then. Okay. And we do have the money. At least we got it from my, you know, husband. This is intriguing. This is gonna have to wait. Assert authority. There. Legitimacy is at an all-time high, and as well as my popularity. Again, can't fight against you. You know, we do have good relations with them. I didn't think about who's succeeding who again. Oh, Baruman is the man. He picked up a perk, submissive. Unless he's already had it, I didn't pay attention. But at least he's very loyal. To me, at least. But the attraction of air goes down. Here it is. 0. The concept of 0 did not exist in the standard Roman numerical system. The existence of such a concept was vital to the Greek mathematicians in performing advanced calculations. Therefore, we're going to get 4 free province investments, which we're going to have to do that in that area again. And then state religion happiness will go up, so Zoroastrians will like it more. And we're upping the national manpower and citizen output even more. What do we pick beyond this point? Anything with less aggressive expansion impact? That sounds ideal. Something that we should have done long ago. Right. Let's do this again. Get the wood in. Oh, gotta wait for it still. Anything else? Oh, I know. Journalists. That's what's needed. You want me to get married despite the fact I have cancer? That's gonna create disloyalty. We cannot commit to such a plan. I'm sorry. That means we have a slow army on the move. Or is it Navy? Like that tribute. No. Yes? No, maybe. Oh, he can't run an army. It's just within one of the arms. Listen, we're so far ahead of Shunga, that's why I feel like I don't want to end this series until I have a higher score over Shunga, and I've done it. But obviously, we're gonna continue this series all the way to the end date. But in the meantime, we're still fabricating claims against Shunga in preparation of a big war against them. They would never accept this, obviously. Next. Ah, Kuru. Rest of Kuru, where Hastinapur is located. And beyond Kuru there's over there, but they're going too far away towards Magad, which one would think that would be the ultimate goal. But the real goal is down here. Here it's just additional. So that way we could control, you know, most of this side of the Thar Desert. That's the idea here. But I'm not going to start drilling troops until we have a new ruler. There's room to expand now. Okay. 5. Confirm change. As that Persis is to be the infantry intensive army. Gandhara is what does it need? Up that a bit. 28, 29, 30. It's already got enough supply train to last long enough fight. Simply for the sake of it, add more heavy infantry. You poor sods. I'd rather still have the levy because that's when the monarch is allowed to lead an army. Or levies to be exact. We're just only increasing the size of the armies in preparation for the war against Shunga. Not our Bahuman, but different Bahuman. Wood needed. And we got plenty of wood because I forebode anybody doing so. Now we're expanding the amount of workforce. The cost is 800 gold. The growing wealth of Paramhamsada is not matched by its infrastructure. Voices are now being raised for furthering development of costs, and more slaves could be brought in to man the mines. So, 3 slaves will appear on each of these territories, particularly the mining territories, and as well as the city itself of Alexandria. Then, so that's done. We could spend another 600, because it has come to our attention that maybe more deposits of metals and minerals and some of those we have already found and developed. If we are willing to fund a large-scale survey here, we may well uncover new finds that could probably develop. Bactriana is one of the more fertile provinces of Bactriana, and with the right support, its farms could feed the entire region, which is something that we're sorely lacking due to nomadic invasions from 100 years ago. So we kind of overlooked that. But I am not going for that option. Well, I mean, you could, but we have little time for that, honestly, so I'd rather spend this. Particularly rich harvest of creative food surplus, larger than what a local food storage can. This is a golden opportunity to do so for the people of Sogdia and redistribute the produce among those that need it the most. Because I'm not going down that way. So now we need Bactra to turn it into a metropolis, which is easier said than done. Get another aqueduct. Iron found in Shirak. 1 second. Our prospectors jubilantly report that having struck iron in Shirak, we need to spend a fair bit amount of money to get a mine up and running, but the deposits seem to be enough to support one. Should we do this, however, it would mean a very marked change to the local economy, which is currently based on the export of horses. We're not interested in developing this fine. Horses are good. You know, you'll find plenty of those in Scythia, but I prefer my own horses. Oh my goodness! The amount of food that you could get. Centralized population. Get a few populations moving to Bactra. Unless I'm gonna have to move a few slaves, and then there you go, metropolis. Meanwhile, we got room for another building. Hang on. Everybody's happy here. Have a granary. Because the population is going to keep on growing, then we may have food shortages if we're not careful. Poor health now. But who's the heir? Gonna be Baruman. He needs to improve militarily. Some say that throughout Sogdia there is one constant. The deeds in Gandhara precede him. From the villas of the capital to the shabbiest border town. Wahana has risen to great prominence and position as a public servant and aristocrat. There is legendary pride. Saudis has the ear of everybody worth knowing in Samarkand. They could no doubt make a useful domestic ally. Well, I'm not going to be around for long, so I'll just say add a fake address. I think, to be real honest, that's enough fabricating claims. I think you probably want to move a few slaves and then turn this into a metropolis. You can afford it. That'll be one of my last orders. In fact, the last. But the question is, can it handle it? I mean, food's going down, that's because it's winter time. So, that's what's gonna have to be. Anyone would concede that Bactriana is a great city, even one of the larger and more imposing that this region has ever seen. Must further patronize this growing community and foster to a metropolis it is meant to be. That's where most of our strength comes from, as far as army is concerned. Okay, we can do the library portion. So this will be this. But give it a few months. Minor deposits found in Pyropamnesia. Our prospectors have sent word that they struck some minor deposits of valuable metals in Pyropamnesia. They're not sufficient to support large-scale mining, but through their investigation itself, they have managed to secure enough value to be able to send some of our state coffers. Remarkable. Waiting for the influence to hit up to 100. And I'll get to work on it. Because I think we basically got the idea of how much territory we're going to take off of Shunga when the future conflict comes. That's it. Move a few slaves around. Get another library, just to be ahead of time. See you in 2 years. I was originally going to do that for, you know, Uruk over there, but that's not going to be. And that's going to be one of the last notable acts of Queen Roshan, the Zoroastrian lady of Sogdia. The woman who turned this nation into a Zoroastrian majority and becoming the fastest growing religion in the land. Whereas the last 100 years of ritualistic, we were more syncretic. But instead now, Zoroastrianism, we have embraced it and will continue to grow each passing month. Although it might slow down a little once she passes. That's just how it's going to be. Farkund, in his civic capacity, informs that opportunities have risen. One of our most valuable temples in dire need of renovation. With enough investment, the building could become a shining beacon of our benevolence and architectural prowess. Surely this opportunity is too great to miss. Oh! That's a lot of money. We have no need of this, but thanks for the idea. Oh, there it is. Well, the Shunga did take most of Magad back and further deeper into Pundra against Moria. And now the Shunga Pandya war, or Pandya started the war, and they are winning. I mean, one would think this is an excellent time to strike against them now, but the big problem with that is it's the position of our troops. It's just a little out there. Because I would say I would put barbarians. That's rare. It's pretty rare to see barbarians on this neck of the woods, or this neck of the steppe. But hey, you're the fastest of the bunch. Oh, smudge. Go deal with those barbarians. And then come back down here as quickly as you can. That's something we ought to consider. Is to, when we have the next king of Sogdia, we will, this is part of Darn. So, put that there. This is the only part of the province of Darn that we'll control. So we're gonna have to start drilling troops at some point. Oh yeah, I mothballed that fort. Library's finished. Bactriana needs a court of law, but that will occur once it becomes a metropolis. And now she has arthritis, so she's becoming more and more ill. I will not seek treatment. I will continue to influence stakeholders, and then I will be gone. It is my time to go. Enmity Day says, knows no bounds. As I said, I despise Roshan would be a gross understatement. Hog made his touches clear. After he was reported asking a series of public questions about Roshan to some very shady sorts. The public may very well catch wind of this embarrassing situation. Perhaps post an extra guard tonight. There. No more fabricating claims. Paid by the Persian kingdom. I didn't read that part. Now we know who's responsible. They're gonna pay those barbarians, but already we are committed for a likely war against Shunga after what we just did. At least you're in perfect health. They're on their way this way. I should have picked you all up by ship. We should consider Shunga as an enemy now. They're catching up because they made some gains. But can they hold? That's the question. Because they seem to be tied to Parthia. Oh, dysentery's no good. You better get that treated. stability is so high now, it will remain pretty stable when I pass. Hasn't reached very poor health yet. No, no, no! Cannot commit to such a plan. I don't want to make mad of anybody else. Take this back. There is a road there, but it's kind of unfinished. Future reference. Son of a beeswax Tarhun escaped and went to Kucha. Looks like the cavalry may become late if we're not careful. Divine mandate. Have less aggressive expansion impact when we take territories off of them in the upcoming war. What else? I'll do that. Perhaps that may start going for military innovations again. Something with siege abilities, because who knows what fortifications that they've built over the decades. Get down here. You never lost the triumphs at all. They were around the whole time. Okay, we took it back. Now get back down here! It's of utmost priority now. Actually, no, you stay back. You don't want to provide support. Conversion continues. Next summer, Trebizina or Trebazina, how do you say that, becomes part of Sogdia, which is part of Ariana. Dysentery ain't fun, Bahuman. Trust me, I know. Very poor health now. I might make it to live to see to make Bactra a metropolis and a few other benefits. And 54 ships while we have 79 as a whole. That got rid of my arthritis. Is it now? Or am I thinking of somebody else? I didn't make no miraculous recovery, that's bullshit. Perhaps in my mind that I am recovered. There we go. Bactra the metropolis. So So now it's a rising metropolis for the next 60 months. And now we're gonna have Sogdian settlement in the next year. The city of Bactria is the center of Sogdian power in Bactriana, yet it is primarily a Bactrian city. By encouraging Sogdian settlement here, we can build a stable power base for our continued rule of the region. So, Sogdian freemen and a citizen will appear there. And next 12 months, have a settlement policy just to increase the migration traction and move even faster, and as well as the conversion and assimilation. And then after that, Merchant of Bactra. Grove of Bactra, with a court of law there. Build one. And build a grand theater, that's for assimilation, that's also needed. Ooh. I fear that the Parthia may expand so much that they're going to effectively cut Shunga into two. The promotion of Bactra as a Sogdian city now made it attractive to the Sogdians, and have begun to prepare a new life in the growing city of Bactra. The city is open to all, including those slaves from Barica. And else they occupy that, so it's anybody's game there. And they took some areas that I have interest in taking. Otherwise, I fear we may be in conflict with the Parthia for those interests. But if the Parthia do win the war and split Shunga into two, then it's open season. Because Shunga and the Parthia don't like each other, so they'll never give them access. The integration of Trebizenia is complete. Oh, I'll take you in. But you can't take anyone else. Have to get it from somewhere else. Well, that's from the nation we integrated. So good job on that. No issues with Moria. Still no wine. Ah, screw it. Get to him. So that way our ships can fight against the fleet of Shunga. May make it a little easier for us. Battle-hardened soldiers serving under Vaduka have performed mighty acts of valor. Vaduka, on an act of benevolence, requests permission to institute a particular form of service award, unique to his army. Vaduka would take great offense at being denied autonomy. We might be careful of allowing too much autonomy. That's for the Legion of Sogdiana. Let the soldiers have their due. Not near death yet. Hospitality. Got some charisma back. It'll be done this coming February. And we'll get this and then it's complete. A Sogdian settlement policy in Bactra has attracted the attention, especially among the classes of soldiers in our army. Making use of promised free land, they arrived at Bactria seeking to make a new life for themselves and their families. Just the type of settlers we need. Manpower will be back up in 2 months. Just waiting. Doesn't say near death yet. Rome finally had a civil war. Well, I mean, they've been having a civil war for some time, but the bitter civil war in the Roman kingdom has finally come to an end. The loyal forces against Castellani utterly crushed the rebel armies led by Statius Castellani, scheming codes. The siege of Roma was the turning point of the war when the loyalist forces stormed the walls successfully despite horrific casualties. The outcome of this war is largely irrelevant to us, as we do not consider the Roman kingdom as either a friend or an enemy. Nevertheless, we ought to be careful now that their nation is on track to recovery. So there was a dictatorship, a Western Roman dictatorship, which it is, but now it's renamed Roman Kingdom, as it's a great power. Governor of Gandhara, Admiral Secondary, disloyalty inspired, that's why. I refused their proposal twice, disloyalty inspired. It's gotta be the Persian kingdom. They're at it again, one would think. One swift war against the Shunga, and then you'll be declared as an empire. But now we got a possible civil war if we don't get our act together. I'll bribe them. Just to tell them to pipe down. Never before has the streets of Bactria has been as clean and its gardens well kept. The stone palaces now make it immediately apparent that it is not just a city, but also the very center of a great power, an urban expression of a splendor and all. Bactria is now a city of stone. The city council of Bactria has approached us asking us to further help the development of the city. It is our home to a number of wealthy merchants, and it is the view of the council that this is the group that we should further strengthen in order to safeguard the grow its full potential as our center of power in the region. Bactria is now all that is needed to be the center of Sogdia power that we designed. The only thing that is now still needed is an improvement of sanitation and essential food storage. By strengthening our authority in Bactria and showing the local society in Bactriana that our state is both powerful and willing to reward those it serves, we inspired a generation of new men, persons of ability that now seek our opportunities to serve their country, hoping to win themselves wealth and influence. Some meaningful talent, finally. How about another library? And with that, Mission complete. Now you want to stabilize and grow Parthia. Parthia, we have neglected. Which there's room for that now. Even though we don't control nearly all of Parthia, but I'm talking about the region, of course. Just for future reference, for a possible war against... Well, it's not possible now. It's going to be for real. It's just we need more time with this. But there's going to be a little time for that, ladies and gentlemen. So let me do the last few things and then we'll close the episode here. This needs a library and a commercial district. Can't get rid of that. Willing to get rid of this fortress. Because I believe that was the site of the rebellion at one point of its existence. So get a... show me again. Library and a commercial district. Library. Commercial district's down here. So you got your Sogdia. So and need another library. So therefore we can use this little investment. And then you know, that's just for this. And now, over there, needs farming settlements. That's a port. You already have one, but unfortunately this port's gonna have to be taken down. If we had room, I would build this port in this city here, or here. Fine. Okay, you've got that handled. Salak. Salak, where is you? This is where a city is to be built here. And it's gonna have a theater once it's finished. So, easy. So we'll finish that mission in the next episode. And also coming up in the next episode, as we're in the 40s BC now. And it looks like the Pandya Shunga War has been concluded, with Pandya did indeed sever Shunga into two, taking more of the population with it. So this will be open season for a two-front war, where we're in future, like we'll be fighting on the North Gangetic plain front, and the other, the front of Maru, or Zoroastrianism and Kach and all that. I mean, that's where the navy is. But I would assume that, in fact, did they even take their capital? Yes, they did. Yeah, it's no longer governed. Does that mean, did they move the Patliputra as the new capital? No. Those are governors. That's the man himself, so where does he reside now? I mean, before we end this episode, I want to find where he lives now. Here. That's where he resides now. I mean, it's in the province of Maru, but not, you know, Maru itself. So, okay then. So effectively, this is going to make the upcoming war with Shunga much easier for us now. Because, you know, they can't get together and they can't transfer from one front over the other because of Parthia. In which no doubt that Parthia will never give them access since they've been fighting each other for so long. But of course, actually no, we're good. They do not hold areas that is against our interests, the Parthia. So we'll stop this episode right now. So in the next episode, we will stabilize and grow Parthia, and also prepare for a war against Shunga. This might be the last great war for the series, as I do not wish to oppose Parthia, and I'm in no mood to fight against the Persian kingdom, despite the fact what we did the last time, and among other things as well. So we hope you people have enjoyed this episode. So we're going to make some big moves in the next episode, as she will soon pass away and Bahamon takes over, even though he'll be less experienced. But we'll do what we can. So see you in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.